I'm Phil Dvorak with Recovery Church Movement, and it's my honor today just to share a few words of encouragement. I'm just going to tell you a story and give you a blessing. So, I am the father of 5 children, and this life is a bit of a mess. And your recovery journey is going to be a bit of a mess. And sometimes I refer to life and recovery as a beautiful mess. One of the things I want to encourage you is we cannot wait for life to be perfect. We cannot wait for our recovery to be perfect to start this journey. Some of us have said, when I get all cleaned up, then I'll approach God. When I get this right, then I'll do this. We can't do that. We have to learn to find beauty in the middle of the mess. We have to learn to find a joy in the middle of sorrow. We have to learn to find God in the middle of this broken world. So my son Judah was born with an autoimmune disorder. And actually, I have the same disorder. Didn't know it until we discovered with him. And I was a bit of, if you knew me pre-pandemic, people always thought I was a germaphobe. And they were always wondering why during the church service, I would go out multiple times and wash my hands and my face because all these crazy people would shake your hands and give you a kiss and all this stuff. But germs I could really get sick, and so could my son. And when he was a toddler, we literally would go to the park after sunset once all the families had left, and we'd take Clorox wipes and we'd wipe everything down. Now, this wasn't the pandemic. This was just normal life for us because we couldn't get vaccines for him because he would get whatever sickness was out there. And so we had to kind of keep him separate and keep him safe because of that. And we had to learn to find beauty in some hard times during that season. Well, my wife, we have 5 kids, so she at that time was always having kids. She's at home with a newborn, and Judah is being potty trained, and I get this great idea. I'm going to have a father-son moment, and I'm going to take Judah with me to Home Depot. Now, I'm taking a toddler who's potty training to a hardware store. I know, great idea. But we get there, and of course, what does he need to do? Immediately, he says, "Daddy, I need to go potty." Well, you don't argue with a toddler you're potty training who says they need to go potty. You rush to the bathroom. And so I rush to the bathroom, but what I do is right before we walk into the door, I sit Judah down. I say, "Look at me in the eyes." And look at me in the eyes. Judah, you do not touch anything. Do you understand? You don't touch anything. I opened the bathroom door. When I opened that door, that boy ran in there, and it was like a laser. He ran in there, and he picked up a piece of toilet paper off of the floor. So immediately I grab him, take that out of his hand. I go wash his hands, and then we go in for him to use the restroom. And I'm trying to literally hold this boy over the toilet, and he starts peeing everywhere, all over me, all over him. I'm covered in urine. He's covered in urine. So then we go over to the sink, and I go to try to wash up, and I put Judah in between my legs as I'm washing my face and my hands to get cleaned up. And I look down, and this boy is licking the sink. He's licking the sink. So finally I get him cleaned up, and I'm making my escape. I'm going to get out of the store. I give up. We go out of the bathroom. I put him in the shopping cart, and I start racing. As we go around one of the end caps, all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I just see this vase start shaking. Judah had put his hand out, and as we went around the corner, he hit a pile of orchids in these glass vases, and they all fell off the shelf, and they shattered into thousands of pieces all over the place. So here I am standing covered in water and urine, and there's broken glass and dirt all over the place. And I'm looking, and a Home Depot employee comes up and luckily rescues me and says, "Don't worry about it, sir. We've got this." And I turn around, and Judah is gone. He escaped out of the shopping cart cage, and he had run down the front of the store, and he's standing in the front of the store with his hands up, looking up into the sky, and just dancing. I'm like, what in the world is this little crazy animal doing? And so as I approach him, and I'm running towards the front of the store to go get my son, he looks at me and says, "Daddy, will you dance with me?" Are you nuts? Will I dance with you? I mean, do you not see the mess? I'm covered in urine. There's broken glass. Do you not see this? "Daddy, will you dance with me? Is there even music playing?" And I stopped, and for the first time, I heard the music. There was actually music playing, worship music playing in the middle of Home Depot. And I stopped in that moment, and I danced with my son. In the midst of all the brokenness, in the midst of everything, I had this moment where I danced with my son. And it was one of the most beautiful experiences of my relationship with my son. I share all this to share this with you. Recovery is hard. Life is hard. There is going to be brokenness. There's going to be hard times. But you're going to have to choose to dance with your son. You're going to have to choose to take the moments and say, you know what? I'm going to find beauty in the midst of brokenness. You see, God was able to take the most broken, horrific thing in all of human history, the brutal murder of his son, and make it the most beautiful thing in all of history. If he's able to do that, he's able to take your ashes, he's able to take your brokenness and turn them into beauty. So God bless you and stay sober.